Never give up. In the late 1990s, one man dared to dream bigger than the world was ready for. He saw the internet, then mostly words and hidden IP addresses, and asked a radical question. What if every barcode on every product could instantly connect you to a website? Scan Commerce was born. He and his team manually linked millions of books, records, tapes, and consumer products to the web. Their vision? Simply scan the code and, boom, you're on the site. The problem? Only 6% of the world had internet, no camera phones, no smartphones. So he invented the QCat, a device that literally gave computers eyes. People mocked it. They ridiculed it. Mark Cuban called it the worst invention ever. But the numbers didn't lie. QCat and Q-codes became the fastest adopted computer peripheral in history, to reach 10% U.S. market penetration. Telephones, 25 years. Electricity, 30 years. Radio, 7 years. TV, 11 years. Internet, 9 years. QCat did it in just 30 days. It hit 1 million users in 30 days and 2.4 million in 60 days, faster than Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Airbnb ever dreamed of. Then disaster struck. The dot-com crash. 9/11. Markets froze. Capital died. The dream looked dead. But the inventor? He refused to quit. Jovan Hutton Pulitzer kept fighting. He nurtured those patents through the storm. He ignored the haters, the doubters, and the crash. Today, that dumb idea is the global standard and one of the most successful patent portfolios of the internet age. It's built into 21 billion mobile and wireless devices worldwide. It powers 2.7 billion scans every single day, over 1 trillion scans a year. And these scans, from one rogue idea, generate over $15 billion annually. The crazy dream that everyone laughed at now connects the world. That is the power of never giving up. It doesn't matter if they call your idea stupid. It doesn't matter if the market crashes. It doesn't matter if the world tries to bury you. What matters is that you refuse to stay buried. Your dream might be ridiculed today, but if you nurture it, protect it, and fight for it, it just might change the world tomorrow. So chase that dream. Take the shots. Fall down 7 times. Get up 8. Because the only thing standing between you and history is the decision to never give up. Now go build it. The world is waiting.
Hey guys, welcome to the program. Just kind of a heads up. The reason you should follow me on all kinds of social media is because I've now been blocked once again on Facebook. This is the reason you want to follow as many live broadcasts as you can. They did not like my program showing you things from social media that Islam says. They said I was promoting hate, but yet Islam can post it and I can't repost it. Anyway, so no Facebook feed. That's why I always want to follow at the base channel, which is Rumble, rumble.com/Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, or on X. Make sure you follow me multiple places so you'll always have backup. Okay, today's program is going to be both eye-opening and repulsive. If you're a parent, you're going to be mortified and you're going to be sick. All I'm doing is sharing the information, sharing the news. It's that simple. This program I titled, "Oh, She'll Be Fine. What Could Ever Go Wrong?" Well, a lot of things can go wrong when you hear this story. Today's program is brought to you by the fine folks at Goldco. I'm just asking you to go to jovanlovesgold.com. Request your free gold and silver kit today because now is the time to protect your money with gold and silver. You need to get some physical assets, folks. Digital is here. It's coming. They're going to replace everything. You are going to have even less and less control. Make sure you do that. That's why I partner with Goldco. Make sure you pop over there at jovanletsgold.com. Fill out the form. At least get the information and feed your brain. Okay. One photo explains it all. Imagine a small town in the UK. I told you where they've been perfecting this for a long time, right? I kind of gave you a heads up on this. I showed you when Obama came in and said they're going to fundamentally change everything. He literally said everything. During those years, this is the European invasion that felled the UK. Each black dot is 100 illegals. And you can see all of them pouring in. This is it. Data visualizes what this calls. That's what fundamentally changed the UK that you're seeing is going on right now. Those are real numbers. You just look at it, you see everywhere they come from, etc. Now, during the Biden administration, with what happened with 2020, they were able to accelerate it. This is what the United States looks like just during the Biden years, an equal amount. You've got to understand how this is going on, what's going on. These floodgates have, in fact, been opened. It is here. I'll start with a little ditty. This is what's going on in Oxford, Pittington. That's why I said have pity on Pittington. It's a little bitty village in the Shire, right? You know, one of those beautiful places. Let's start with a little ditty to set this dialogue up.
Quiet lanes and thatched roof homes, kids on the green, dogs roam, 300 souls, give or take. Then the letter came, sealed and late. 1,250 more single men at the old base door, free to walk, free to stay, 9 to 1, so they say. And she said the obvious thing they'll need right in the middle of the village green is a brothel nice and clean. Yes, that's what she said. Fathers locked the garden gates, mothers counted nights and dates, referendum talk in the hall, principality, one and all. And she said the obvious thing they'll need right in the middle of the village green is a brothel nice and clean. Yes, that's what she said. Taxes pay the beds and meals, taxes pay for all the deals. What the lads will do all day, no one seemed to want to say. And she said the obvious thing they'll need right in the middle of the village green is a brothel nice and clean. Yes, that's what she said. Yes, that's what she said. Yes, that's what she said. Little Pittington, Little Pittington.
Okay, so this is a little bitty village, a little bitty Oxfordshire village, and it's popped itself in the news. Now, I want to show you a few things around it first before we get to it. A lot of evil has been going on in the UK. You now know that if, quote unquote, these illegals in places get into your house, even if you wanted to let one of them in, when you leave the house, if they lock the doors and lock you out, even though it's your house, they have the legal right to stay there and you can't do anything about it. Now, the government's doing some really wicked things like coming up ways to find ways to foreclose properties and take them over. And then, wait a minute, we're going to take your property. We think it needs some repairs. We're going to repair it, and you're going to have to pay for it because it comes out of the ownership, but you can't be there. We're going to put migrants there.
So this letter was from the council, and you got this on the 12th of January. You moved in November, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you got this letter. And just spell out what this letter says.
That letter says that because the property is derelict, that they can compulsory purchase it. If there's any repairs to be done in it, they could take it off the price of the property.
Yeah.
And these properties are for migrants. That's what they want these houses for.
Extraordinary, isn't it? And how did you feel when you got a letter? You've moved into your new wonderful home, you settle down, law-abiding citizens, and you get a compulsory purchase order from the council accusing you of occupying a derelict home. How did you feel when you got this?
After paying 200,000 for it, we didn't feel very well.
No, it must have been one hell of a shock, mustn't it?
It's for the immigrant and not the indigenous population.
Yeah. Well, veterans are sleeping rough.
Yeah.
16,000
in
veterans.
Terrible weather.
Absolutely.
They can't get put in hotels or on a bibby stock home.
There is a daylight centre charity in Wellingborough, which looks after homeless people who are sleeping rough, and they spend £630 per annum per head. Illegal migrants get paid £50,000. They get spent on them £50,000 per annum per head, and here we have the evidence of it in this letter. They wanted your lovely new home.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This should resonate with you. It's like our military men and women not getting health services they need. Very small retirement. As you heard there, their military folks, retirement again, £600 a year to help them with housing. But the illegals are getting £50,000 a year, basically paying for it. So this is a planned invasion. A few little bit of housekeeping here. What I'm doing is this particular program I titled, "Oh, She'll Be Fine. What Could Ever Go Wrong?" We're going to take a look at it. But as soon as I jump from this program, I'm headed to my locals to do a special broadcast about something you need to know going on for the elections and the midterms. I titled this one, "I Swear They're My Neighbors and Just Want to Vote." That's going to be over at my locals. If you're on Rumble, you'll click the red oval to join. I didn't think there'd be many new ones. This is a new one. Wait till you hear this. Oh my God. Wait till you hear how this one is done. So I want to show you a little bit about the migrants who need help coming to the UK. First, let's show you what's going on in Spain. This particular guy decided he liked the way a lady looked, and he was entitled to have sex with her, whether she said no or not, and she's trying to leave in her car.
Ay, por Dios, por Dios, por Dios, por Dios.
And please God, please God, please God, please God. He just hopped on her car.
Ay, por Dios, por Dios, por Dios, por Dios. Por Dios, por Dios, por Dios.
A la policía.
Ay.
Una anécdota. Vamos a dejarlo en su barrio. Esto está cerrado, no pasa nada.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
He's kind of not giving her any choice. I'm going to show you a few of these. You might want to cover your eyes. By the way, you need to listen to the special audio I did. You can find it on my Substack. You can find it on Locals. You can find it on my SoundCloud. This very stuff I'm showing you, I explained to you how this right here works. It's called the deep-seated secret behind woke culture. That was Spain. That's going on right now. Here's some of the other local greeting committees of when they come in and the local girls turn away their sexual advances. Here's the average response.
Ça vraiment c'est du loup.
Yeah. You turned them away. This happens.
Ça vraiment c'est du loup.
No prosecution, no nothing. Can't do anything to them. Oh, what if you encountered them on a train?
Je vais tellement te déserter la tête la prochaine fois. Je vais tellement te faire du mal. Tu vas tellement souffrir, tu vas pouvoir fermer ta bouche. Voilà, tu vas plus rigoler.
You think that's bad? This are guys that got off the hook not only for a gang rape, for filming the gang rape. It was just part of their culture, and it was not rape. Yep, little barbecue outside the asylum place they were. They got diddied up and went out and, well, had their way with whoever they wanted. What if you did a Daniel Penny? You're going to stand in and you're going to fight. Very few people are doing that.
This man was the victim of a crazed Syrian asylum seeker who stabbed him when he tried to stop the man assaulting a woman on a tram. The American model had been on holiday in the German city of Dresden and stepped in to stop the migrant harassing the woman.
If y'all didn't think that Europe had an immigration problem, especially Germany, let me drop some knowledge on you. It is 11:57 right now. In 3 minutes, that man that assaulted that young woman yesterday will be released from custody. He'll be released from custody because he's not a citizen of Germany. He's not a citizen of the EU for that matter. He doesn't even belong in here. He's an immigrant, an illegal one, a drug dealer, and very popularly known here, especially by the police. This is not the first time this has happened. It's not the first time that man had beat up women, and it's not the first time that the other guy decided to take a swing at my face with a 6-inch blade. If they could do this to the people of Germany and then just get released 12 hours later, even less at this point, where's the law? Where's the structure? If the Germans are held to that law and that structure, if the Germans are held to that law and that structure, but these people could just come in, swing knives, and hurt, abuse, terrorize, and oppress citizens of Germany, then.
John, the victim, had just completed paramedic training. His sister-in-law said online it was his passion for saving lives that led him to intervene. According to a GoFundMe set up for John's medical costs, 2 Syrian nationals were involved in the attack. One was arrested, but released briefly after.
Yeah, they get arrested. Imagine if you went to your neighbor's house and decided you want to have sex because I need it. I'm just showing up. You owe me sex. By the way, you're an infidel, and in my religion, I can buffo you. They're not English, but you get the point. Imagine if they'd show up your house at just 2:30 in the morning, like this guy.
Yeah, he's just knocking on the door, just making really weird noises. And
I just showed up. The lady calls the police. They did cart him off, took him to the hospital. Hospital evaluated him for 10 minutes, said he was okay, released him, showed back up again. She calls the police, said, well, you just call us each time he shows up. This is at your door at 2:30 in the morning. Masturbating. In.
yeah, he's just knocking on the door, just making really weird noises, and it's freaking us out. No, he's just
crazy.
If you want to know what could go wrong with this image of, oh, she'll be fine, what could ever go wrong? Let me show you how easily this goes wrong in the UK. This fellow found one he liked.
I'm following you.
Why are you fucking stalking man, bro?
Are you okay? Do you know him?
He grabbed the little girl, as they do. She's terrified, tells her he'll kill her, not to say a thing, and he's walking her off down an alley so he can rape her. Whereas I understand his buddies were waiting. Luckily, a woman saw this happen, was brave, and decided to record it and get to that little girl, got close enough to grab her, and he just kept on walking. Now, this is what's going on. This is what people are worried about in the UK. These are what they're worried about. Now, let me tell you the story of Pittington. Why are all these military-aged men there? And so you understand the visual. On the left would be the residents. On the right are the military combating age, all male men being moved into this tiny little village.
Passport to Pittington. This tiny Oxfordshire village is home to just 350 people, and it doesn't have a shop or a pub or a pavement. But when the government announced plans to use a nearby military base to house asylum seekers,
the obvious thing that 1,200 young men are going to need in the middle of a village like Little Pittington is a brothel. I don't think they're going to provide that. I have a feeling that's not going to be allowed.
1,250 asylum seekers, all single adult men, will be housed here. There'll be facilities on site, but they'll be able to come and go. And this is why the villagers are revolting. The proposed site is right by Pittington, and it borders the green they use for the kids to play football or to walk their dogs.
As you know, we're a very small village, but out of our population, 65% are women and children. If you put that as a ratio against the proposed amount of adult male asylum seekers that are coming in, that's for every 9 women and children, there will be 50 men, and they're free range. They're allowed to roam free.
Supposing we don't have a brothel in Pittington, as Edwina suggests, what are you going to do all the time? And that is the question in these small places.
Yeah, that lady was, as I understand, either a current or former councilwoman, and she suggested, well, we're going to need a brothel downtown. I'm not sure if she volunteered. I'm not sure even if she did volunteer, it would solve the problem. But you understand what this small town is doing with. I want to play this back to you again. While the system distracted you in elections here in the United States of America, it's the machines. Now they're trying to cover their ass. They know you know. While the system is making it's the Jews, it's Israel, it's this, it's Zionist, it is all cover story for what got ushered in with Barack Obama. Let me show you again. Start of his term, here is the illegal invasion. They knocked down the UK first. Every black dot is 100 illegals. You're not only seeing them converge on the UK, watch where they come from. This was an intentional invasion. Now, if you look at the numbers being racked up over the years, you see how they literally dominated the country. This is a plan to kill the West. Now, the whole 2020 thing was to get Biden in and do the same thing. While Mike Lindell lied his ass off about PCAPs, it's the machines, Antifa cults, all those guys were in on the con. That con, distracting everybody with crap, hid this. This is what happened just under the Biden administration. The flooding gates to get them in. All that other stuff was distraction and BS. All of that stuff was to make sure you had nothing that would allow you to fix the election so we could stop it. They knew what they were doing. It was all a planned con. And now this village, which has incredible history, just, exactly what you would think, all through the countryside, all through the community and everything else, right? Little bitty spit of a place in the UK. This is one of the places that if you were visiting London, you'd hop out just to ride to see the countryside, to see how people live, to see the beauty of the countryside. Here's a home that's for sale right now. They're trying to get out from under. It's only $2.2 million. It will never sell, ever. And why will it never sell? It's because it's right there backing up to this. And on the left are the residents, on the right are the now legal invaders. This is what it normally looks like during any given day. It's a place where you go sit in the gardens, enjoy the outside, enjoy the countryside, good food, people get together. And the government said, well, that's not going to change. It's all going to be fine and dandy. We've got to do what is right, and they've got to flood these immigrants in. This is all part of a plan. Every freaking bit of the coverage to get you away from the ballots and mail-in ballots of election integrity, that's the one thing they feared. They needed to make sure we didn't get a stronger foothold here, and they did it. They did it. And then at the same time, as I show you the Muslim stuff, oh, it's Zionists hate Israel. Look how many of them are convincing you it's Israel, they control everything. No, it's not. It's a much bigger plan underway. All of those people participated in a con.
Tell me about the government's plan to house 1,200 male asylum seekers in the town of Pittington, population 350. As if that's not bad enough, some politicians are saying the government should go even further. Have a listen to former Conservative Government Minister Edwina Currie.
The obvious thing that 1,200 young men are going to need in the middle of a village like little Pittington is a brothel. I don't think they're going to provide that. I have a feeling that's not going to be allowed.
Tom, I cannot imagine how upset 350 people in the little town of Pittington must be with the arrival of 1,200 male asylum seekers. What is the government thinking?
Oh, it's absolutely crazy, James. As you say, tiny little Pittington, this village in Oxfordshire. If this army base, which is going to be turned over to asylum seekers, gets the green light, it's going to dwarf their population by almost 4 times. I mean, this is utterly crazy. And if, Edwina Currie got away, they'd also be landed with Oxfordshire's premier mega brothel to add, salt to the wound. So this is a very, very strange state of affairs. Pittington are actually kind of in open revolt over this. They're threatening to declare independence from the United Kingdom, entirely sort of symbolic, but it shows the strength of the feeling. And given this comes after Andy Burnham saying that essentially we need to share illegal migrants across the country, they shouldn't just be in the kind of poor areas where the hotels are cheaper, they should also be in leafy, affluent areas as well. I think he's going to find that the pushback is, if not as fierce, then certainly pretty irked in certain places of the country which haven't had to deal with the brunt of this issue so far, but places like Pittington are suddenly going to have to deal with it now.
There's something else I wanted to ask you about, and that is that the Home Office is looking into claims that the Chinese Communist government has been funding pro-Palestine protests in the UK. What can you tell us about that?
Now, this is a really alarming development. It comes originally from congressional investigations in the US, which found that this feminist organisation called Code Pink had alleged links, potentially money coming its way from China via the husband of the founder of the campaign group. There's also Code Pink chapters in the UK, and our authorities looking specifically at £250,000 worth of donations, which might have been of dubious provenance. As we've known in recent years, countries like China, countries like Russia like to kind of play on the divisions within our own societies. It's certainly not inconceivable that they might have latched onto the hate marches as one way to do so. So very concerning.
I mean, one of the groups that it's thought that the Chinese government provided funds to organised for pro-Palestinian protesters outside military bases.
No, exactly. They even organised one on RAF at Krateri in Cyprus. So it shows you the sort of reach of what otherwise isn't a particularly big or famous group in the UK, certainly. So it does raise a lot of questions. And it was also quite funny to see this is primarily a feminist organisation which seems most passionate about Gaza, which again is a bit of a cognitive dissonance there, we say. But yes, the fundamental thing be, where is this money coming from, and what, if anything, are the Chinese authorities looking to do here? And I think it is very much about stirring up dissension within Western societies.
We've only got just a couple of seconds left, Tom. Just in a couple of words, Andy Burnham, how's he going?
Not great, I think it's fair to say. He's been benefiting from not being Keir Starmer, but already is coming a cropper, certainly with some of the stuff he said on migration.
I've told you for a very long time, the funding part of this with China. I told you it's about getting America to destroy itself. People weren't paying attention. Everybody got hijacked in the elections by the machines bullshit, by the way, also paid by China. All of that stuff was created by China. They'll tell you, oh, China did it, China did it. They won't admit China paid for that promotion to get it focused on the machines, knowing exactly what it was. This is, and I got a lot more to cover. This is also what's going on. I'm telling you how it works.
Have you noticed this going on? Your favorite podcaster tells you data centers will be the end of the world. Politicians are saying, new data centers will destroy our lands. Cities and counties are reacting with development moratoriums. Maybe even your favorite online preacher is preaching, they are the work of the devil. What if all you think you know is actually propaganda messing directed by China? Are the people you listen to too in the know? Or are they just regurgitating? There is no doubt about it. The United States is at war over data centers and artificial intelligence with China. But the ground game playing out, at the direction of China, is the battle for your mind. It's time to get the verifiable facts and decide whose side you are on. Are data centers evil? Will they be the end of rural America's water resources? Or is your mind under attack with unrelenting psychological warfare? America must win the AI data center war or surrender the future to the Great Dragon. Award-winning, 5-time best-selling author, technology pioneer, and futurist, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer presents the definitive manual for winning this war against China. The Three-Toed Dragon, Communist China's secret war to end American AI and data centers. China's relentless drive for AI dominance is no longer a distant threat. Through massive, state-backed infrastructure, voracious energy consumption, and strategic control of global supply chains, the CCP is building an unstoppable technological empire. While America debates policy, China executes. For patriots, policymakers, energy entrepreneurs, technologists, and every citizen who refuses to live under digital authoritarianism, this is the essential field manual. America still holds the innovation edge, the resource base, and the will, but only if we act with urgency and clarity. The Great Dragon is moving at full speed. Available, hardback, softback, and ebook on Amazon. Get your copy now. The time to seize victory in the AI data center war is now. Read it, arm yourself, win.
Now, if you paid attention, and if you actually have learned, maybe one thing for me, pay attention to the words. I told you about the chaos to keep people away from the ballots and the voter rolls. I showed you the operation. I showed you how to audit everybody in the influence field, even leaders. Who and what do they amplify? You'll find the amplification. It's the machines flipping the votes, PCAPs, and shit like that. It all tells on itself. Recently, I told you when I covered Islam, I gave you a keyword. Search people for this keyword. I gave it to you. Now and I told you it's all tied up. Zionism, it's the Jews, hate the Jews. And I gave you that keyword. I have clearly told you, you're seeing people who are in on it. They are trying to move the needle. They have already made deals. This is how it works. You're now going to see a flex. I told you this was coming before. You're now going to see a flex is they're going to start calling out Islam or Muslims in a very mild way, never in their own words, just showing you other people's stuff because they're trying to cover their tracks that you now have the ability to audit them and see what they stand for. This is a war that's been going on for a while, folks. We are the pawns. All of that is designed to keep everybody on the sidelines. What they don't want you to pay attention to is how they're really pulling off this invasion without firing a shot.
Welcome to Pittington. No shop, no post office, no pub. Population 350, soon to be 1,600. Why? Because the government plans to house asylum seekers here at a former military storage base right on the edge of this little leafy Lib Dem village. The migrants, all adult males, all undocumented, can come and go from the site as they please.
I'm going to give you one little thing that you should probably know. In the UK, the police are not enforcing this. They'll lose their job. They're only worried about their pensions. If you go back to some of the programs I taught you how this works, that they'll overcompensate trying to place law on the people that actually follow the laws to make it look like they're doing their job. In the UK right now, you find police hanging around sporting goods stores. Now, you can't buy guns there, so it doesn't matter. Why are they hanging around sporting goods stores? Because when young males, white, go into the sporting goods store and buy a cricket bat or a bat, as soon as they get on the street, they are charged with buying a deadly weapon and they're arrested.
Welcome to Pittington. No shop, no post office, no pub. Population 350, soon to be 1,600. Why? Because the government plans to house asylum seekers here at a former military storage base right on the edge of this little leafy Lib Dem village. The migrants, all adult males, all undocumented, can come and go from the site as they please. The government says it is addressing community concerns, but residents have huge safety fears.
It will completely change our way of life. As I said, we're in a position now where my mother-in-law and father-in-law live just down the road there, so my children can walk down to see our daughter's grave. That might not be the option that we could send them down the road with the safety. The field over there opposite us, I let our kids go and play golf in there and play cricket together, and we can just watch over them. That just wouldn't be an option. So the safety aspect of not knowing who these people are, it would change everybody's way of life in the village. People probably need to see this place to understand how outnumbered we would be. And that's the real worry, 4 to 1 is a massive, massive difference on our life to what it is now.
Protests haven't put a stop to the proposals. A legal challenge can't be started yet. So locals are trying something new and different. A referendum to, get this, become independent from the UK, and it's being led by Tim McNally, chairman of the parish council.
To have 1,250 people brought into an environment where there's 350 people, I mean, it's adding like 32 million people into London, as an example, overnight. I mean, it's a huge proportionate impact upon us, and we just don't know how we're going to manage forward the security of our village.
Again, context. Now, number one, if you haven't listened to my audio, it's on my Substack, it's on my locals, it's on my SoundCloud. Anybody can get to it. I did a program called The Deep-Seated Secret Behind Woke Culture. This is what the system weaponizes. Now, in this particular episode, we've been talking about what's happened to this town, so you understand these ratios that are coming in. This is not isolated. Every bit of it has to do with our government leaders and elections. Now, you think they have some pretty rat bastard leaders in the UK. No, they have a start. This started with Obama. This was when they triggered the plan. Over all that time, they got millions upon millions upon millions of illegals, immigrants, violent military-aged men that do not believe in God, right? And do not follow law and do not play rules. They got them into the UK. They've been perfecting this. They have it perfected. They know what people's tolerances and limits are and how to do it and how to shut them down, calling people racist, you're just mean, you're not this, whatever. That's where they perfected it. However, that perfection gave them the rules of engagement of what they did to us during the Biden administration. They've pulled the trigger here to do the same thing, and they are spread all across the United States. Now, I'm going to cover this as soon as I jump from this program. I'm going to hop over to my locals and do an exclusive for you. That's at Jovan, HuttonPulitzer.locals.com. And we're going to discuss this topic of, I swear they're my neighbors and they just want to vote. You have to understand this. But what I want you to understand, you've got to embrace every single person and operative that was deployed to convince you it was the machines and we're going to melt them to prison bars is in on this. You've got to understand how the human mind works. The human mind is wired not to tolerate chaos. And so when you get chaos in the human mind going, what the human mind naturally seeks, right, is an answer to stop the chaos. Well, see, the system creates the chaos. At the same time, the system gives you the solution to the chaos. And it's always with sayings and bullshit like, melt them to prison. We take the machines and melt them to prison bars. That was a psychological warfare. The chaos they've got you going, you kind of swell up with all the chaos. Oh, nothing's happening. They will give you the answer. It's never real. And all of a sudden you think somebody's got it. And your mind, which it's wired to do, fills in that blank. What has been going on that I've been telling you about for years and years and years, all of this is orchestrated and moving at the same time. Every single person that is mass amplifying, it's the Jews, it's Israel. Israel controls everything is what they're saying. That's the con. It is the con to make the Islam invasion more palatable. Because Islam says the same thing. There's Zionists, there's Jews, got to kill them all. They need that to break the Christian back of the United States of America and the West. They have to destroy it. Every single general, every single influencers, every single colonel, every single podcaster, every single one of them that keep on bringing up, it's the Jews, you're watching an executed plan. All of this is the same plan, multi-chaos attack, presenting themselves as they have an, you'll fill in the answer. Oh, it is the Jews. Has nothing to do with it. It is all a multi-attack plan. And now we're going to head into the midterms. They knew exactly what they're doing. The same people now are turning on Trump, telling you Trump's bad, destroyed the government or whatever. You see Trump doing what he does is he walks his own path to get this figured out. He's focusing on the ballots and the voter rolls. That is what they don't want to happen. That is what they kept everybody away by creating chaos, total bullshit that could never be verified, but then giving you an answer. Well, we got it all, and we're going to get the machines, we're going to melt them down the prison bars. Your brain medicates with that. Problem is, now here we are. And so I'm going to be jumping over to my locals because my next program, you're going to want to hear this, you're going to understand it, how just they've opened every channel. You're going to want to tune in as I cover, I swear they're my neighbors. They're my neighbors, and they just want to vote. And they're voting. Everything you now know. Oh, we saw the vote swap on TV. We saw this. You know, is a total bullshit con. And you can't even bring yourself to call them out. You'll have people call me out, and you'll find those same people knowing that the Lindell shit was a con and a lie came out in court. They don't dare call them out. And the reason is they are all connected. That is why I began to teach you how to audit it yourself. Here's the words to look for. Here's how you plot it. Here's how you see every one of them of how they're connected. it has been a massive warfare. Join me over at my locals next. I will post a link so you can hop over. We're going to talk about, I swear, they're my neighbors and they just want to vote. You're going to want to see this one. Watch for the link. It'll come up next.
Why do you believe what you believe? Did you choose your religion, or did it choose you through family habit? Did you know a single fiery argument 2,000 years ago, or a fight 700 years ago, or a split that happened because of buttons on a coat, or the exact spelling of Jesus' name, or one Greek letter that decided whether Christ had one nature or two, may have formed the religion you follow? Maybe you never knew what formed your religion was the conflict over the use of 2 fingers over 3 fingers. Most of us walk through life with a faith we inherited, but never truly examined. We call ourselves Christian, non-denominational, spiritual, Pentecostal, Jehovah's Witness, Amish, Mennonite, Old Believer, or just churchgoer, without knowing the shocking stories behind the brand we wear. Things like one failed prophecy in 1844 or 1914, or even slavery in the Civil War, may have decided your religion. Maybe Charles Darwin decided your religion. Debates over whether God or Jesus removes sins, or bread only, wine only, or both for communion. Maybe it was just sprinkling a baby or dunk deep for baptismal. Was it prayer must be silent off in a corner, or must be loud on your knees? Married priests or celibate, Latin or Greek, facing the sun or turning your back to the sun when you pray? These weren't small disagreements. They fractured churches, created whole new movements, sparked executions for heresy, sometimes caused the murder of millions, and shaped the spiritual lives of billions. One group banned bright colors as demonic. Another argued over how to punish the disobedient. Gurneyites, Hiskites, Wilburites, Hutterites, names most have never heard, yet they still quietly divide people today. Blind Faith is the most exhaustive, no-holds-barred deep dive ever published into the hidden history of the faith, religion, and church you think you know. It pulls back the curtain on a 2,000-year war of ideas, politics, power, and sincere conviction that turned sincere believers against one another over questions that still echo in our churches, our families, and our culture wars. This isn't dry theology. It's a straight-talking layman's journey that forces you to confront the uncomfortable truth. Much of what we accept as just the way it is started as human arguments dressed up as divine will. Faith is powerful, but blind faith blinds us to facts, to history, and sometimes even to the very truth it claims to defend. Dig deep. Question everything you thought you knew, because until you understand where your faith really came from, you're not truly walking in it. You're just following the path someone else cut centuries ago. Are you ready to see